TPC Sawgrass, home to the PGA Tour's Spotlight Tournament, the Players' Championship. On this day, the course gets dressed to host a different event, but one that deserves just as much attention. Phil Mickelson arrives to host the Birdies for the Brave golf event, a weekend of golf with legends from on and off the course. Their mission? To raise money for military charities.
Good to see you, Phil. Morning. Morning.
And the host gets right to work.
To see the way the entire PGA Tour itself, as well as all the players, support so many of our military charities, support our soldiers when they come home. It's really cool to be a part of this. Thanks for being here.
I want you to have one of my ball marks.
Oh, very cool.
My flag.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. Bring you good luck.
The weekend is underway. The spotlight shining on more than golf. The focus is on Birdies for the Brave. Heroes come from a variety of backgrounds. They are everyday Americans, volunteering their service, risking their lives for the greater good of the country, sometimes at great cost.
I almost lost my life. I almost lost my family, and that was rough.
Soldiers are heroes. Some carry the torch at home, assisting warriors when they return, helping improve their days as they adjust to civilian life.
We're here to fill the gaps.
Homefront support groups are heroes. And there are individuals with extraordinary talents that capture a spotlight they share, spreading a brave message.
Even though we're not the ones on the front line, they're fighting for us and our freedoms. We've got to do something for them too.
Heroes are everywhere. Over the next hour, we will share the stories of these everyday Americans who are changing lives as we honor the heroes among us at the 2012 Birdies for the Brave golf event.
Thanks again to everyone for being here. A proud day to be an American for sure.
The opening ceremony welcomed 48 professional golfers and over 100 military personnel, along with PGA Tour Commissioner Tim Fincham and representatives from all the home front groups that Birdies for the Brave benefits, including former Special Operations Commander General Doug Brown.
The sun has just set on the Hindu Kush in Afghanistan. There's a young Special Forces NCO that's going to go to his kit bag and take out a set of gloves. You know, we're going to arm ourselves with a bunch of tees, and he's going to fill his magazines with 5.56 as he gets ready to go out. We're going to get ready to play. He's going to get ready to fight, and we just wish him well. And if unfortunately something doesn't work out well, by the time we finish today, he may need one of these charities. And the good news is, with your support, these charities will have the resources to take care of him. God bless you.
While General Brown makes the mission of the weekend clear, host Phil Mickelson can only smile, seeing how far Birdies for the Brave has come. They are the first couple of golf. Phil and Amy Mickelson have seemingly grown up before our very eyes.
Only fitting. Only fitting.
That is his fiancée, Amy McBride. They're engaged. They'll be married this fall.
Phil, one of his generation's greatest golfers, and Amy, always by his side.
Phil Mickelson, always entertaining to watch play and usually not far away. His wife, Amy.
On the course, they have charmed the golf world with their family-first approach to the sport. And off of it, they have used their celebrity and resources to literally help thousands of worthy causes.
Good morning, guys. So pretty, Leilani. Nice to meet you.
The focus on his family, the focus on helping other people, and then the way he's handled himself inside and outside the ropes. He has been a major contributor to the image of the PGA Tour.
When you meet Amy and Phil, they're just as they seem. I mean, they're just so compassionate, caring, and they want to help. They're just wonderful people.
He's a really special guy. Amy is just the real deal. They're really special people, and I know they do so much good for so many people.
He is a fierce competitor, but he is a gentleman, and he exemplifies all the good things that golf stands for.
The Mickelsons have been involved in a myriad of charities through the Phil and Amy Mickelson Foundation, supporting a variety of youth and family initiatives. But it was a small idea formed back in 2003, which would eventually become Birdies for the Brave.
We are doing something called Birdies for the Brave. It's something I'm very proud to be a part of. I'm very proud that the PGA Tour stepped up.
When we first went to war, Phil and I felt that initial tug that everyone was feeling. It's sort of a helpless feeling, like I want to do something, but I don't know what. We certainly wanted to do our share to recognize and help our military families.
There were a couple of military charities that Amy and I really had an affinity towards. One was Homes for Our Troops, and another one was the Special Operations Warrior Fund. I think the great thing about supporting our military is that it gives every citizen of the United States a feeling of helping out. Even though I'm not on the front line, I'm not putting my life at risk day in and day out the way our soldiers are, I still have an obligation to this country.
The initial concept was simple. For every birdie and every eagle Phil made in competition,
his 9th birdie of the day, Phil Mickelson.
Money was raised for these two military charities. But when more PGA Tour players became involved, the small idea turned into a huge one.
Once Phil and Amy got it going, PGA Tour jumped in there and wanted to help, and now it results in fundraisers at all of our clubs around the country and a lot of other events that help support the military and their families in a lot of different ways.
From that idea or that vision of wanting to help, look where it's gone. Now there's 9 charities, and they've raised over $10 million since the beginning of the Birdies for the Brave. But we're only able to do that because of the generosity and the unbelievable giving attitude of people like Phil Mickelson and the PGA Tour, who want to make a difference in other people's lives, and they're doing it every day.
What once was just a small way to help a few soldiers has become a PGA Tour-wide initiative, with dozens of players lending their support to various home front groups.
It's such a great feeling to take advantage of this great game of golf and all that it's given me to be able to help those that deserve it. To see what the entire PGA Tour does for our men and women who are risking their lives every day, to bring them out to tournaments, to have them be a part of golf, to show them that they are appreciated. I look back 9 years later and see where Birdies for the Brave has come, and it's such a great sense of pride.
Still to come on Birdies for the Brave, Phil Mickelson shares some candid remarks about past experiences with Tiger Woods. The Golden Bear offers a former Commander-in-Chief some friendly advice.
Bye, guys.
It is said the pen is mightier than the sword, and when you hear the story of Jeff Falco, you will understand why.
We have to go on with our lives. Rather than sitting in a corner and lamenting my loss, I've tried to do something positive with it.
Take that.
Thank you, sir.
You got it.
If you're around Phil Mickelson, he's a guy that just radiates enthusiasm and goodness.
He has been a major contributor to the image of the PGA Tour, and the image of the PGA Tour is our #1 asset.
He exemplifies all the good things that golf stands for.
On the range, Phil Mickelson draws plenty of attention. But the weekend is about bringing attention to Birdies for the Brave.
Thanks for coming out and being part of this.
Thanks for coming out.
My pleasure. Appreciate it.
What you guys do is just phenomenal. Thank you. Absolutely phenomenal.
We've got a great day here, great weather, great golf course, and it should be a fun day.
To no one's surprise, Mickelson is on point with his first swing of the day.
All of us feel like we're in this together and we're working together to help those that give us so much.
Got a new friend. Let's play around. Let's throw a ball and make a big sound.
Working together is what makes Birdies for the Brave so unique. It unites 10 military homefront groups under one umbrella, supported by the PGA Tour. The money raised benefits a wide range of needs.
The charities work very closely together, and there's really very little that the military families will need that one of our charities cannot fulfill.
In order to fall under the umbrella, the organization must be sponsored by a PGA Tour professional. 18 players already lend their support and are bringing attention to a valuable cause.
That was really one of the first national type programs that gave exposure to all our wounded and all our soldiers and all the families. They'll know who we are through the work of the Birdies for the Brave.
Whether it's united through reading, helping a deployed soldier share story time with their child,
I am a firefly. My name is Gus.
or the Navy SEAL Foundation, who stands at the ready to support the immediate and ongoing needs for families of the Navy SEAL community. The relationship with Birdies for the Brave is helping shine the spotlight a little brighter.
They allow us to extend and tell our story in so many places across the country and perhaps reach people who haven't ever heard about us before.
Special Operations Warrior Foundation provides education scholarships to children of Special Ops heroes who were lost in battle.
We provide them with room, book, board, tuition, fees, expenses to go to college. We have about 200 that have already graduated college.
The recipients have a stunning 98% graduation rate. Homes for Our Troops build custom-made homes for the most severely wounded soldiers.
It's one of the most important things I know I've been a part of in my 37 years in the military. It gives me the most joy and feeling of accomplishment.
Since 2004, they have built 114 homes and are ramping things up thanks to the support of Birdies for the Brave.
They will ensure that we'll deliver 35 homes next year just because of this tournament.
Wounded Warrior Project provides services that meet the unique needs for soldiers as they face new challenges.
I've been everything from snowboarding, wakeboarding, kayaking, rock climbing, outrigger canoeing, you name it. And it was Wounded Warrior Project that introduced me to golf. It's been my greatest blessing.
Operation Homefront has provided over $125 million in financial assistance for deployed soldiers.
Our primary focus is to provide any sort of emergency financial assistance that the families may need. So if a car breaks down, or they're behind on their rent or mortgage, or the lights have been turned off, we step in to take care of that hardship.
The Green Beret Foundation provides immediate response assistance for an alarming amount of wounded Green Beret warriors.
Some of these injuries are very unique and very tragic, and some of the bureaucracies and treatment haven't caught up to the current injuries, so as a board, we're able to apply resources very rapidly to cover those gaps.
Filling the gaps is why these organizations were created, an effort to make the heroes who are returning feel normal, feel appreciated. And Birdies for the Brave is helping all the groups work together to complete that mission.
We can't possibly thank them enough. We want to make sure that those families are taken care of.
Get in, baby! Oh, yeah.
Tip your head, tip your head, tip your head to the chair. Thank you very much. Jesus, I didn't say take your hat off. God, no. Damn, you don't want to scare people.
Out on the course, PGA Tour players past and present guided their amateur partners around the 2 TPC Sawgrass layouts. A small way to show their respect and endorse this initiative.
It's funny. Takes it two.
I admire Phil Mickelson a great deal and what Phil and Amy have done and what they continue to do for our servicemen and women. It's something that we need to do. We have to pay attention to what goes on outside of our daily lives. These men and women put their lives on the line every day. And I'm lucky I get to play golf every day. So that's not a fair comparison. So I will do whatever I can for our military.
It's really an honor to be invited to come down here and support the cause and do my small little part to try to help out these brave soldiers and families that have given so much for the country and everything that we believe in. It's really great that Phil and Amy have taken the reins on this thing, and I would do anything for them. It's really a special thing for me to be out here.
For Kenny Perry, it's even more special, as spending time with these brave men and women is personal.
My dad was in the Battle of the Bulge. My dad's 89, still living. He told me he didn't take his boots off for 30 days. He was dug in a foxhole as the Germans were advancing on position. I can't imagine what those men went through. As a young child and growing up and listening to all that, you know, I've always thanked all the men and women, you know, who serve and who give us our freedoms. It's just a time for us to give back, you know, just to show our support of the military. Much appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure all day. It's been great.
Coming up, how man's best friend is helping those who return from the battlefield make the transition into civilian life.
There's just that instant love connection.
And after the break, two American icons tee it up at the famed Island Green.
People who served our country in uniform deserve support when they come home. The group supported by Birdies with the Brave, they pretty well span the waterfront. And I'm very grateful for all these people who supported it.
They fight for our freedom every day, not knowing who we are. That's honorable. So why wouldn't we want to help and be a part of their lives and help them any way we can, even though we're not helping them as much as they're helping us. To be any kind of part of that is a special thing.
Bye, guys.
We owe the young men and women that protect us a little bit of help. And days like today, it raises a lot of money for them, their families, those who haven't come home, and the families that are left.
One of the headlining groups at the Birdies for the Brave event partnered co-chair Jim Justice alongside Jack Nicklaus and former President Bill Clinton.
In theory, we don't even have to wait for the white tennis tees anymore, but it's not like some of these pro-ams where, you know, the duffer gets publicly humiliated on every bad shot. It's pretty impressive. Now it's only about every 6 shots.
Well, I'll let you keep it.
I'll have to live with Nicholas grinding on me for the rest of my life, but otherwise it'll be great. Well, I'm 66. You can play from the white tees.
No, you have to be 70 to go up there. We're not going to let you get away with that. Okay.
I had incredible playing partners. To play with Jack Nicklaus and President Clinton was a real treat. You know, Jack's still got some real game. I mean, that's just all there is to it. You know, I didn't really expect that.
Here we go. Go. Nice shot.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
President Clinton has got a beautiful golf swing, too. And late in the day, he got hit it really well, too. Jack was helping him the whole way.
Mr. President, best swing you did all day. Woo! Best shot of the day. Who is that guy?
Mr. Nicholas gave me this little lesson on the tee. Didn't even charge me minimum wage. Once every 20 years, I get a golf lesson from Jack Nicklaus.
A million different stories, you know, constant talking and everything about everything all over the globe. It was a really special day.
We all had a good time today, but the most important thing was to try to keep supporting these endeavors.
It's nice to see President Clinton involved. It's nice to see all the other folks here. They're going to raise a lot of good money today that will help a lot of people.
That's it.
Magical ball! There you go, baby.
One of the groups benefiting from the day's events is the Military Warrior Support Foundation. Stephen Ellsbury was an Army Staff Sergeant in July of 2006 when his scout platoon vehicle was hit with an IED.
I almost lost my life. I almost lost my family, and that was rough, you know.
Because of the blast, Stephen suffered a traumatic brain injury that resulted in severe memory loss and post-traumatic stress disorder. Pete Sutherland was a sergeant in the Army Infantry Division when his quick response unit took heavy fire on a rescue mission.
It's nothing you ever prepare for in your career. You always expect to go in and be able to do your job, but you're not really ready for a mass casualty situation like that.
Pete was shot multiple times during the firefight and still suffers the physical effects 7 years later. Because of their injuries, both were medically discharged from the Army and are now living a civilian life. And that comes with its own set of challenges.
Your next thought is, what am I going to do next? You're never going to be able to continue to serve, and it really hits you once you get into the hospital. Where's my life going to go from here?
One of the organizations that helps veterans transition to civilian life is the Military Warrior Support Foundation.
We started out initially taking them on fishing trips, hunting trips, football games, and it just exploded into getting them jobs and now homes.
Along with the help of several financial institutions, the Military Warrior Support Foundation gives away mortgage-free homes to veterans that need them most.
The foreclosure crisis has impacted so many communities and neighborhoods in a negative way, and to be able to turn that around a little bit and do something positive with it, such as doing house donations, is life-changing.
Not only do these banks provide the homes, they also renovate the properties and tailor them to the specific needs of the veterans. While Pete and his family have been in their home for about a year, the Military Warrior Support Foundation surprised Stephen and his family with their home at a Jacksonville Jaguars football game.
We were just waving to the crowd, you know, we wasn't expecting anything, and then I ended up crying like a baby, you know. So.
We have a special surprise, a mortgage-free home to Stephen and his family. Stephen, thank you for all you've done, and enjoy your new home.
I remember hearing just the roar. It was like a big cheer, and I was crying so hard. It meant a lot to me to know that that many people were there, you know, telling us, congratulations, and we support you. Everything you went through, every sacrifice, every heartache, it was amazing. Here are your keys.
To date, the Military Warrior Support Foundation has given away 252 homes and are committed to gifting 1,000 homes in the next 4 years. This is just another step in helping these American heroes realize the American dream.
That is beautiful.
The ability to be in the home and not have to worry about the financial burdens, focus on your recovery, it has just meant the world to me.
I don't have to worry anymore. The way I was raised, you provide for your family, and with me on retirement right now, it just sort of answered my prayers.
You just cannot say thank you to the organization enough for what they've done. Military War Support Foundation is a part of our family now.
It's just like a dream come true. It really is. It is an absolute dream come true for us.
Well, it's important for all of our brave men and women in the military to know that all of us back home, we haven't forgot about them.
The spirit of what people have come here for, and they see the guys and they talk to them, it's people talking to people and caring about them.
All I can tell you is I'm proud to be an American.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
Cameras always gravitate towards Phil Mickelson.
Crazy. I love TV.
And he should. He makes a lot of birdies when the cameras are rolling.
That is a hell of a thrill.
But since the beginning of his 2005 PGA Tour season, Mickelson has been doing more than just jotting down circles when he breaks par.
Knocks it in for a quick eagle.
We have some type of obligation to help those that are risking their lives fighting for those freedoms for us.
Each time Mickelson cards a birdie or an eagle on tour, money is donated to military charities. A birdie brings in $100, while an eagle raises $500. But just how many birdies has he carded?
Let's see, 350 a year times 8, I'm gonna guess just under 3,000.
His birdie count over the last 8 seasons is a whopping 2,329.
I'm going to equate that to tougher pin positions. I think that it's been harder to get at some of these pins.
All combined, Mickelson has raised over $250,000 in birdies and eagles alone since 2005.
It's really cool feeling to be able to do something like this. It's such a great feeling to take advantage of this great game of golf and all that it's given me to be able to help those that could use it or that deserve it.
Thank you. Have a good day today. Thank you.
As heavy clouds roll over North Florida, veterans Cameron Crutch and Daniel Gasca tee it up on the par 3 17th at TPC Sawgrass. But rain doesn't dampen the excitement of taking aim at one of the most famous holes in golf.
I was a little bit intimidated because I didn't know what I was getting into, but it's been a lot of fun so far, and that hole was a serious shot to my ego.
Bruised egos are scattered throughout this tough track, but on this day, this weekend, spirits are high.
I've been to several Birdies for the Brave events before, but this is by far the biggest one I've been to, and the one that I'll remember the most. It's been great.
You're pushing your left knee out, but not the, rotate your hips. Yeah, there you go. Man. Yeah, that's the difference right there. That's the difference right there.
It's just been great. It's an opportunity I never thought I would have. It's very humbling, and I'm learning a lot of tips from Mr. Bean. I think I need to do a few thousand times before I hit the golf course.
Right, there you go.
It's really moving just for people to take time out and do things like this. It's really great to see that, life-changing all around.
While the courage of these wounded warriors inspires, Jeff Falkel is still writing the moving story of his son.
My son was Staff Sergeant Chris Falkel. He was a member of Operation Detachment Alpha 316, a member of 3rd Special Forces Group. On August 7, 2005, he and 16 members of the Afghan National Army got involved in a 54-hour gun battle with the Taliban. At several points during that battle, Chris did what he had to do and saved the lives of his team. In the 5th major contact, he was killed by a sniper.
Staff Sergeant Chris Falkel is the ultimate casualty of war. A young life taken far too soon.
He was only 22 years of age when he died, and he was affectionately called Junior.
He, like so many special operations heroes, lost in a faraway land, and now living forever on this wall in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Chris also lives on through his father, Jeff, who started his own company, Junior's Bullet Pens, in Chris's memory.
He was always making stuff out of shell casings. He said, "Dad, I want to make a pen out of shells. That would be kind of cool." I said, "Hey, that's a great idea. We'll do it when you get back." Well, he never came home. 2 years later, I started Junior's Bullet Pen Company, and we make pens out of once-fired military brass. I've made over 120,000 pens. Our world headquarters is my dining room table, and have given out close to $150,000 in money over the last 5 years.
Most of the funds that they make from the Junior Bullet Pen, they give back to charity and Birdies for the Brave. Every time that he hands somebody a pen, and every person that looks at that will remember the story of what happened, so the life of his son will live on every single time someone uses one of those pens.
Thank you. That's awful nice of you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
You got it. I'll carry that with pride there.
None of us chose it, but it's something we have to go on with our lives. And rather than sitting in a corner and lamenting my loss, I've tried to do something positive with it. It's a therapeutic session for me and my son.
And so he comes here to TPC Sawgrass to share his son's story and to honor all those who served and were lost.
These are a bullet pen set that were made in honor of my son who was killed in Afghanistan. He was a member of 3rd Special Forces Group.
I appreciate it.
And thank you.
No, thank you very much.
It's a very special event to see that our wounded soldiers and the Gold Star families are not forgotten. What Phil and his wife, Amy, have done for first the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, our military has sacrificed a phenomenal amount over the last 12 years now. And for him to appreciate that and to try to do something to show his appreciation is amazing. Everyone I know that knows Phil has said what a gentleman he is. He's very special. He's more than a gentleman in my eyes.
The scene is set for the 14th Operation Shower, hosted together with Birdies for the Brave. Military wives who are expecting a baby and whose spouses are deployed or seriously injured are welcomed with open arms to TPC Sawgrass's Babies for the Brave shower. With several honorees there to show their support, guests like Holly Fincham and Amy Mickelson wouldn't miss this most amazing event.
I always feel how lucky I am to be a mom. And I hope you feel loved and spoiled today.
The more opportunities there are that are out there, the more people can engage in it. And so as Birdies of the Brave has grown and spread its reach across the country, there's just something for everyone, a way that they can show these families how much they're appreciated.
It's time for the showers in a box.
That is amazing. I was there 2 weeks ago. Oh, I love that.
Family is everything to Phil and I, so to be there and share in the joy of what's to come for these women, it really meant a lot to me.
Do not cry, but
I can't stop either. I think you and I would be a bad combination.
It's exciting to see the many gifts and opportunities that are being presented to this newborn. To be able to do something like this is pretty cool.
None of this would be possible without the help of many others, including co-sponsor Kathy Justice.
Jim and I do a lot of charity events and try to do a lot of things to help a lot of people, and we're so patriotic, and we just wanted to try to do something back for them. After seeing the shower and all of this today, it's just priceless.
Now is time for the grand prize. They were told whoever's number was drawn, number 27, would receive a crib and dresser. Little did they know, every girl in the room had the number 27. And to see every single mom in there get their crib and dresser, it's just a huge help.
It touches so many people, and there are just so many heartwarming stories. I just hope that we can continue to do something like this.
While Kathy was inside at the shower, her husband Jim Justice was out on the course. The Justices are co-hosts with Amy and Phil Mickelson for the Birdies for the Brave event.
It's for the families of a lot of really brave and wonderful people. They're all heroes to me, and so it just touches my heart in every way.
The Justices have a long-standing relationship with the PGA Tour and are well known for one of the best stops on tour, the Greenbrier Classic, hosted in July every year. In West Virginia, giving back is just as important.
I'm a real believer that the giver always wins. I mean, at the end of the day, it just fuels your fire to do what I think I've been sent here by the good Lord to do.
To see what Jim and Kathy Justice have done for this event, for the PGA Tour, the Greenbrier Classic, for the community, all of us feel like we're in this together to help those that give us so much.
Since 1938, the PGA Tour has been intrinsically connected to the communities in which tournaments are held. With the singular mission of giving back, the tour partners with numerous players and sponsors in supporting thousands of charities and countless individuals each year. And over the last decade, the focus has been on bringing military men and women inside the ropes and into the PGA Tour family.
Cameron, where are you from? Pennsylvania.
I'm feeling thankful for the time we have, and when I see you smile, it makes me glad. I'm giving all that I knew of love away.
The PGA Tour is all about helping people. And we have a long history of our tournaments reaching out in communities and supporting people in lots of different ways.
It is so incredibly important to have the PGA Tour as a partner. To have that type of power and the ability to leverage what they do around the country in television spots and access for warriors and family members at the tournaments to give them that first-class hospitality. It's meant the world to the folks that have participated in it.
It really has grown, and not just in money, although that's very, very important, but also in the numbers of people that are involved and the number of players on the PGA Tour that are involved.
I think our players feel incredibly fortunate to be able to play golf for a living. And I think they feel even more humbled when they see the flags, when they see the soldiers. They recognize that that is all part of why and how they get to do what they do, and they express their appreciation appropriately. It's a pretty magical thing to see.
There's been a growing military presence on tour, with tournaments donating more than 100,000 tickets to military members and their families, hosting over 120 military celebrations, and supporting more than 100 Patriot outposts.
Hey, Captain, nice to see you. How's it going? Phil, nice to see you.
The heroes, to me, are the people that raise their hand and say, I'm going to do what I can to help in that cause, to honor and empower wounded warriors. A hero takes many shapes and sizes.
One of those home front groups is putting a new leash on life for soldiers suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. It's graduation day for 3 American warriors. They are the 14th class to stand in front of a crowd and accept their certificates as graduates of K9s for Warriors.
The change in these young men and women, it's nothing short of a miracle. They arrive here very badly broken. Many of them is the last resort. And fortunately, we get them before the alternative because 1 in 5 will commit suicide.
Sherry and her husband, Champions Tour winner Bob Duvall, started Canines for Warriors just over a year ago. The program helps soldiers struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injuries by pairing them with a service dog.
When we bring the dogs out, they look at the dog automatically, for some reason, just jumps on them, licks their face, and most of them start bawling. There's just that instant love connection.
Earlier on, I didn't truly identify with the fact that I was having issues with PTSD. Things truly spiraled out of control for me. It took a lot to find myself again. I would not have been able to do that without Daisy and without Canines for Warriors.
Sherry and Bob understand the struggles of PTSD after watching their son Brett deal with it when he returned from Iraq.
The more you ask them what's wrong, the more they retreat. And the more ideas you come up with, it's always the wrong idea. So you feel helpless.
Going through what I went through in Iraq was a totally different experience. So bringing the dog back into my life really helped. My wife even said after a couple months of the dog being around, she said, "You're a much better person to be around since your dog has come."
Now, Brett is the head trainer at Canines for Warriors and sharing his experience as a trainer and a soldier.
You can help her out if you need to. More focus on is building the bond between the dog and the handler, and then trying to teach them some of the skills that they're going to need when they go home into a different environment with the dog and their day-to-day routine.
Through the Duvall's association with the PGA Tour, Canines for Warriors joined Birdies for the Brave. Since they're based in Ponte Vedra, Florida, there was no question they would play locally at TPC Sawgrass, a place where David Duvall picked up one of his 13 career wins.
I enjoyed hanging with your dad, too. That's really a neat military involvement with the K9s that you guys do.
Straight ahead, we see the lighter side of Phil Mickelson.
I'm going to show you gentlemen why the claw is the wave of the future. I am all talk today. I can't back up squat.
I'm very grateful to Phil Mickelson, to Amy. I think they're wonderful people for doing this.
It's the love for our veterans and being able to give back and contribute to our heroes.
To say that they get it is an understatement.
They're really special people, and I know they do so much good for so many people.
The two of them together have been great ambassadors to the game of golf.
If charity is the greatest reward for those participating in the event, playing TPC Sawgrass with a professional golfer comes a close second. And playing the famous 17th with Phil Mickelson is the chance of a lifetime.
17th hole. I'll hit one, but we can't use it. It's all up to you. In general, nobody's led this country the way you've led this country. And we're appreciative. I know you're retired, but we're pulling you out of retirement for this one moment. This opportunity to lead this group to a birdie here at the 17th hole at TPC Sawgrass. Are you up for the challenge?
I'm up for it.
We had really a fun day. We had a great group of guys, and to have former General Brown to share some stories and talk about some of his experiences that he could share is really cool. Great shot. Now, I am impressed that we've got 3 balls on the surface. Absolutely impressed. I don't mean to knock it. However, they are 60 feet left of the pin. Did you ever see that yellow pole sticking out of the ground and know that that's where we want to go? I like to rough them up a little bit just because it's fun, but they hit some good shots.
Even on a relaxed day, the best players in the world rarely push their luck with the treacherous 17th.
Even I play for the center green on this hole. I've thrown this tournament away so many times on this hole, trying to make it 2, making 5 instead. I'm just gonna follow your leadership, General. Skip, I love it. Let's use yours. So there's a putt Tiger made here back in the day when Gary Koch said, better than most.
Johnny, that's better than most. How about in? That is better than most. Better than most.
Yeah, I was the other schmo in the group.
You were part of the most?
But no Pro-Am round would be complete without a few professional tips along the way.
I'm going to show you gentlemen why the claw is the wave of the future. Taking the game of golf by storm. Oh, missed it low too. Darn it. I am all talk today. I can't back up squat. Hopefully it's a fun day for them. There were a lot of great relationships that I've had for many years, and there's also a lot of new ones that were formed, and I'm very appreciative of everybody coming here to be a part of this. Yes, nice shot, Jim. Good job, man. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Well done.
On Friday night, some of the most recognized names in golf, entertainment, politics, and business gathered to pay tribute to the men and women who inspire them.
We all have an obligation as Americans. We all have an obligation as patriots to do what we can. The freedoms that we have and the quality of life that we have in America are astounding. And it's why we as players, when we compete in the Ryder Cup and President's Cup and represent this flag, it's why we feel more nervous than in any major championship we play in.
President Clinton lauded the continuing efforts of those in the room, and the former commander-in-chief delivered some inspiration of his own.
These young people are unbelievable, and they can take us to a new future. But for them to take us, we have to take them. We owe them. And every time we fail to do what we should, doesn't just hurt them, it hurts America. And the ones that need an extra hand have more than earned it. You did a good thing today. If you haven't already, thank Phil and Amy on the way out for giving us a chance to do this, and to look for a way to keep doing it. God bless you.
For everyone involved, not even inclement weather could put a damper on this extraordinary event at TPC Sawgrass.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you. Thanks for being a part of this.
No matter how large or small, the mission to give back to those who have given so much transcends the game and will forever change lives.
To have such top quality players really care about our military and show how appreciative we are of them and what they allow us to have here in this great country is just a cool thing to be a part of.
We can't let them be treated like our Vietnam vets were treated. And they were heroes too. And so maybe as a nation, we're doing what we ought to do now, and that's good.
Nobody who's been in my position who has commanded and who understands that in modern warfare, more people survive than ever before, but as a result, more people come home injured than ever before. No one who's ever been there could fail to support what's being done here.
Thanks to the help of more than 100 volunteers, 48 professional golfers, and hundreds of amateur golfers, the two-day event raised $3 million for Birdies for the Brave and its charities.
I just simply wanted to say thank you. I hope that you had a fun couple of days, but I wanted you to know just how much we appreciate it, how much I appreciate it, and I hope you had fun too. Thank you.
The heroes among us, coming together for a weekend to raise money for those who serve a lifetime. A small idea that started 9 years ago is now making a huge difference for thousands of military families. Birdies for the Brave is creating new heroes every day.
I feel like we all appreciate our soldiers and we appreciate our military families. And what it means to us is that while they serve our country and defend our freedom, we're able to experience this amazing life that we live in the United States.
These people sacrifice so much to give us the freedoms that we have. It's pretty special. The fact that we have this opportunity to help others through golf, it's amazing.